to make sure that you got a voice. That's it.
There we go.
Don't think for a second that he represents who these cops are from all over the county and around this nation. We go out there to help people, not do that nonsense. We want to be with y'all for real. So I took my helmet off and laid the batons down. I want to make this a parade, not a protest.
How did you make this decision to talk that way, you know, to take the helmet off, to walk with them?
And as I was walking towards the line, and I'm hearing the radio traffic to fortify the line, to, you know, don't give up the ground, and you see this mass amount of people coming up here, I literally thought to myself, like, how did we get here? So I would just say that when I was on the line with the helmet and everybody had their shields and their batons, and it's an image that is burned in our minds throughout the world. I'm thinking to myself, looking back, there's no good solution to this. You know, a force met with a greater force, there's going to be damage and there's going to be injury.
Walk with us! 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 Walk with us!
Let's walk.
And did you notice a group that had no organization but yet was gathered together, almost in unison, said, walk with us. We are proud to say it's been day 4. We've had no arrests. We've had no fires. We've got no injuries.
What was your reaction when you heard about George Floyd's death?
Well, let me just tell you, today I celebrate my 27th year as a police officer, June 2nd. And when you see something in an 8 minutes, 46 seconds, erase years and years of good policing, good community relations, it is so frustrating. Then when you actually see the video, it is horrifying. There's not a police officer in the world that can look at that and see a guy in custody on the ground with a knee on the back of his neck and justify that that is the right move to do. And we saw what happened. It eliminated. A week before, we were the heroes. And because of that video, one person wearing our uniform but doesn't recognize who we are, we became the villains.
Why do you think this could happen? How could this happen? And it's not the first time, as we know, right? Like, why is this happening?
You know, I think George Floyd, honestly, changed American policing that day forever. I really do. You know, we see the same things you're seeing. We see the same individuals, the same kinds of dynamics of white officers and black arrestees that are you know, shot while they're running and choked out for what? I mean, in this case, George Floyd allegedly passed maybe a counterfeit $20 bill that they didn't even know, and it cost him his life. I'm going to tell you that it happens because a system has to change. And being a police officer and a police executive, it starts from the top. And what happened was the brutality part of it needs to be addressed, but also the relationship needs to be addressed, because police officers in America many times don't call a wrong. And you don't need a long, drawn-out investigation sometimes to just say to the community, what happened there was wrong, and we're going to act on it. That's what they want. And many times we are our own worst enemies. We delay in our response. We are sometimes insensitive to people, and you can't do that. We get our faith and our trust and our power from the people. And that's why it keeps happening. But when you look across the nation today, you see people that are trying to do a different way of communication. And it starts from the law enforcement side. I do believe that we're in the change for the right. I believe that history is being made by how we deal with these issues. There should be no such thing as bad cop. If somebody's bad, they should be a police officer. Get them out. Get them out of the field. Let them go do something else. If there's a pattern, even more so.
When Eric Gardner died in New York City a few years ago, a friend of mine, she's a policewoman, and she told me that police, they're like family, and so you need to have each other's back, and that means, she said, not questioning each other's actions.
All I need is 8 minutes and 46 seconds to realize that guy's not one of us. And that's part of the problem. Your friend is spot on. There's a code. There's a brotherhood and a sisterhood. But that doesn't protect wrong, and wrong is wrong. I understand the times that I've had to use force. The burden falls on us, but there's a greater mission in law enforcement and in humankind, and that is to serve. Our job is to protect and serve. And so my message to the people is, don't give up hope to serve people that don't look like you, act like you, or worship like you. That's what the country's looking for, and that's what the world's looking for. We need hope. And for those that are out there taking advantage of a protester's mission, shame on them. Shame on them. But for those that are protesting with the right to assemble, to speak, and to express, those are not the enemies. We have a right to do that. You need to protect those people.
One last thing. What do you think, just generally for the future? Is there an end to this?
It's a process. It's almost like anybody who says they've known it all. If you meet somebody who says they know it all, walk away. And that process means that law enforcement is a continued process of development, like any field. We have to call upon leaders within the community to hold police responsible.